For Southern California at guard, a 5'9" senior from Long Beach, California, number 15, Juliet Robinson. For Tennessee at guard, a 6-foot senior from Blacksburg, Virginia, number 40, Lynn Collins. For Southern California at guard, a 5'8" frosh from Victoria, Texas, number 50, Amy Alcat. The head coach for Tennessee in her 10th year, Pat Head Summit, and the head coach for Southern California in her 7th year, Linda Sharp.
They will have a jump ball if it's tied up.
So a scramble for the opening tip, and it is controlled by USC. Juliet Robinson to Amy Alcat, the freshman point guard from Victoria, Texas. They lost Rhonda Wyndham, their regular, last year with an injury. She was hurt in the sports festival. She's been out all year. McGEE with the hook shot. Paula McGEE gets the first basket of the game, averaging just about 15 points per game. And USC jumps out on top 2-0. Hatmaker works the outside for Tennessee, off to Ostrowski, who had what she said was the best game of her career Friday night with 35 points and 16 rebounds against Cheney. She was just superb. Miller trying to stay close to her. As you can see, Tennessee with a much more deliberate style. Hatmaker with the left-handed shot over Pam McGee. Scramble for the ball down to the floor. It's out of bounds, USC.
It's an unusual shot. Usually Tennessee does not have Hatmaker shooting the ball, but she's going to try and be a little bit offensive-minded today.
USC going for its 2nd straight national championship. They beat Louisiana Tech 69-67 at Norfolk last year. Tech was their semifinal foe. Some people thought maybe that was too much of an emotional game for them. They might be a little down today. Do you think that'll affect them?
Well, it might a little bit, but SC is a really emotional team, and it depends on what they do. I noticed when they were introduced, Cheryl Miller was real calm coming out of the lineup, so we'll see what they do.
Tanya Habe, number 45. Tennessee starts 5 seniors. They call them the Fearless Five. Been together as freshmen, and they have really battled their way through this tournament. Lynn Collins with the turnaround jumper, air ball. Paula Collins scrapping on the floor with Algek, and we'll have a jump ball.
Lynn Collins usually comes off the bench, but as a senior, Pat Summit has been starting her because she's a little bit more aggressive.
There's Pat Summit, the head coach, looking for her first national championship. And you can also bet that several players on the floor will be part of her Olympic team this summer. We'll talk about that with Pat at halftime. Hatmaker on the drive, lays it up and in.
I was talking to the Tennessee people earlier, and they said that Pam Hatmaker is a senior, and a lot of people don't know that she's even out there, and she controls the ball.
Cheryl Miller, number 31, from outside. Misses her first shot of the day, and the rebound comes down to Paula Towns. First 2 games won decisively by USC, 78-64 and 81-66. The Tennessee bench will do that the whole ball game. They never sit down. I'd hate to have the seats right behind them. Early into this game, Habe driving on Paula McGee, puts up the shot and scores. Tanya Habe, who is the all-time leading scorer for the Lady Vols. And Tennessee leading USC 4-2 here in the early going. Cheryl Miller inside to Paula McGee, fadeaway jumper. Pam McGee came down out of bounds. It'll be Tennessee's ball.
Another thing that Tennessee has done differently, in the past 2 games, they had Towns guarding Pam McGee, and Pam McGee was the leading scorer and rebounder in both those games. Now they have switched Mary Ostrowski on her defensively.
This front line of USC's can be awesome, both scoring and rebounding. Ostrowski going inside to Towns. Towns has it curl out on her, scrap for the rebound. Pam McGee comes up with it, 3-on-1 break for USC. Alkek down court, off to Paula McGee, and we got a charge. Amy Alkek, the freshman point guard from Victoria, Texas, picks up the charge.
USC had a 3-on-1 break, passed a little bit early over to Alkek. Hatmaker moving a little bit, but they call the charge. That's one of the toughest calls in basketball, is a charge block call.
First game this year between these 2 clubs. The front line for USC hit 61 points and had 33 rebounds. In the second game, they had 69 points and 35 rebounds. Hatmaker has the shot rejected. It'll be Tennessee's ball out of bounds.
Good help by Pam McGee by blocking that shot, but you notice Pat Hatmaker, last 3 times down court, has taken the ball to the basket.
Ostrowski, who has not had a shot, inbounds to Lynn Collins. Collins failing to hit. Pam McGee kicks it out nicely. Down to Robinson. Give and go. Alkek to Robinson. 2 points. It will count, and there's a foul underneath.
Another fast break situation by USC. When they can get the ball off quick off the boards, they will run. That time they were able to score off that break. Robinson bringing it down. A 3-on-2 break right here. Robinson with the jumper. And they call a foul underneath on Have blocking out.
Well, Have picks up her first personal foul. And USC retaining possession. Free throw line. 2. Amy Alkek. And Linda Sharp told us yesterday she went down to Victoria, Texas to scout a teammate of Alkek's and kept seeing this young lady turn up on the film. And she needed a point guard. She thought to back up Wyndham, so she recruited her. And lo and behold, she has started every game this year. 6'4" USC, Paula Towns. Alkek grabs the rebound. Alkek's team won the state championship in Texas her junior year and was barely beaten their senior year. Pam McGee inside has trouble getting the shot away. Rebound to Paula Towns, and she's fouled by Pam McGee.
Tennessee has come out really aggressive on the defensive boards. SC has only gotten 1 shot at the basket so far. Pam underneath just throws it over the board, and Towns fighting for the ball.
Volunteers were beaten in the first round of the Southeast Conference tournament, and they kind of get together and said, hey, we lose the next one, it's going to be our last game. The 5 seniors did. They've dedicated themselves. Beat Alabama, the team that beat them in the conference tournament, and then went on to beat Georgia. Have with the miss. And Have has just picked up her second personal foul. 6'2" senior from Evergreen, Colorado.
It was an interesting call. I'm hoping to see that the officials let them play, because on that particular call, I didn't think Have made too much contact, but she's got 2 fouls right now.
Alkek comes into Cheryl Miller. Miller has not scored so far, had 22 against Louisiana Tech, and led the way on the court Friday night. The USC's victory. USC's ranked 5th in the nation, Tennessee 15, and again we get a foul called away from the ball. A little shoving going underneath between Cheryl Miller and Lynn Collins.
Well, Miller was able to get the ball back up high, and she posted Collins down low. SC sometimes has a tendency not to pass the ball down low to their big people. They wait a little bit too long, but that time Miller was able to come out with a foul.
Number 30, Sheila Collins, into the lineup for Tennessee, and she makes things happen coming off the bench. Notice she's got that left knee very heavily taped. She had a problem last year. Cheryl Miller. Beautiful 15-foot jumper. USC out in front 8-4 with 15 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the first half. The women's national championship game from Pauley Pavilion. Sheila Collins, who had 13 points coming off the bench the other night against Cheney. Lynn Collins with the miss. Cheryl Miller leading the break for the women of Troy. Now she slows it down. Out to Amy Alkek, and she'll start the offense over. Very poised young lady for a freshman.
Well, she has been. The big question all year long has been whether SC has had a backcourt or not, but Alkek has come through for them.
Again, Cheryl Miller, this time from 17, cuts the cords for 2. Boy, she's got beautiful form on that jump shot.
She really does. She's tough to guard because she can go inside and outside, but when she shoots like that, they're going to have to put a little bit more pressure
Lynn
on
Collins
her.
trying to bounce it inside to Ostrowski. We've got a jump ball. One of the keys here, I think, in the early going is the fact that Tennessee hasn't been able to get the ball to Ostrowski.
No, they haven't. They've been deliberate in running their offense, but Hatmaker, the guards, have pretty much taken the shots, taken control. They have shut down Ostrowski right now.
Cynthia Cooper comes into the game for USC. Linda Sharp, the head coach of the women of Troy. USC has hit 5 of its first 9. Tennessee very cold, 2 out of 10. Lynn Collins comes out, and that young lady, Valerie Freeman, number 42, replaces her.
Cooper for USC really makes a lot of things happen.
as does this young lady. Sheila Collins open for the jumper.
You know, talking about that knee, Frank, of Sheila Collins, they said that she'd never be able to play again, and she's come back, and the freshmen really respect her an awful lot because of the way she's come back.
She hurt that knee early in her junior year, missed virtually the entire year, and then came back this year and has really come on strong. Juliet Robinson from the corner. Scrap underneath, and Hatmaker comes up with it. Linda Sharp was telling us yesterday she needs more production out of the McGee twins than she got Friday night when they combined for just 16 points. Freeman turns it over. Robinson down court. To Cooper. Back to Robinson. We've got a double dribble. USC turns it over.
USC had a fast break situation, as he said, turned it over. Most of the time, the other two games that Tennessee has played against USC, there have been a lot of turnovers, and 60% of that time, SC has scored. SC right now has maybe scored 1 out of the 3 times on the turnovers.
Ostrowski had trouble against USC the first time around. She scored only 7 points and had 2 rebounds. Nice move inside, and again, it's Sheila Collins getting loose for the 2-pointer. You don't think she makes things happen coming off the bench? She's really fired that club up. Sheila Collins, who had 18 points against Georgia in the regional final, and 14 of those came on free throws, as she set a school record that day, hitting 14 out of 16. Alkett on top for USC.
You know, a mismatch right here with Ostrowski and Cooper.
Juliet Robinson, 30-second clock is just about run down. What down in 1 second when she got that shot up. Sheila Collins in command for the Tennessee Volunteers, who trail by 2 with 12 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Starts to drive on Cooper, and they get Cooper for the blocking foul. Nice move there.
Well, it was. She was looking for the other players to do something for Tennessee. Here Collins is on the side, goes baseline. Nice move. Cooper does not have defensive position.
3 fouls, team fouls on Tennessee, just 2 on USC here in the first half. And we've got a timeout with 12 minutes and 40 seconds left of it. Number 42. Back out to Collins. Collins looking to get it inside to Towns, but nothing there.
USC in a 2-3 zone right now.
Ostrowski can't get loose inside, so she stays out of the corner. She still has yet to take a shot in this game. Tipped out of bounds by Cheryl Miller.
Well, Cheryl Miller was guarding her in the man-to-man and was doing a good job guarding her without the ball, making sure that Ostrowski could not touch it. But now USC has switched up in that 2-3 zone, trying to force Tennessee to take an outside shot.
Give you an indication. Basketball has come as Freeman takes the shot here and hits. Valerie Freeman for the 2-pointer. The 5 Tennessee starters come from 5 different states. Tennessee recruits all over the country. And, of course, you've got USC here with a point guard from Texas, among others. But still some fine players from the state of California. Alkett bangs one home. Amy Alkett, who's averaged about 5 points per game, and that's 4 for her.
That was one of the keys in the last game when they played Louisiana Tech. Kim Mulkey, a senior, went 0 for 6, and Alkett came through. The backcourt for USC was the difference.
Pat Hatmaker, the point guard on the outside to Ostrowski. She's guarded by Cheryl Miller. Miller staying very close to her and doing a good job on Ostrowski, who had the 35 on Friday. Collins takes the shot as that 30-second shot clock was running down to the last 2 or 3 seconds. Here's the USC break led by Alkett over Hatmaker. Cooper with the rebound. Next one comes down to Valerie Freeman. Lady Volunteers will slow it down. They play a much more deliberate style, as you may have noticed, as does USC.
Pat Summitt's not too happy with the way Tennessee ran that offense last time down court.
2-point lead for USC. And we've got a whistle and a charging foul called underneath, I believe, on Ostrowski.
We talked earlier about Tennessee trying to frustrate Cheryl Miller on offense. Cheryl Miller is doing the same thing to Tennessee against Ostrowski. As you said, Ostrowski has not done anything offensively, and that is because of Cheryl Miller.
And Pam McGee, as you saw, checked back into the game. Cynthia Cooper bringing it across the center line. Hatmaker trying to stay with her. Juliet Robinson is a good outside shooter. Underneath, nice pass from Cheryl Miller, and Pam McGee gets the easy basket. Pam McGEE, who is a 60% field goal shooter on the year and was named to the All-American team the other day along with Cheryl Miller. Pass underneath. Collins. You don't think the ladies play physical? Man. Got a walking call. It'll be USC's ball. A lot of banging going on.
Tennessee really ran their offensive well for Collins to get the ball underneath.
On the other end, Cheryl Miller does everything.
The twins underneath really rotate well, and McGee able to get open underneath.
And Miller with a great pass. She leads this team in scoring, in rebounding, in block shots, and in steals. Cynthia Cooper. Miller is posted up inside. They're trying to work the ball into her. Instead, Pam McGee takes the shot and hits it. Pam McGee with an 18-footer. Puts USC back out in front 16-10. That would tie their biggest lead in the ball game so far. 9 minutes, 50 seconds left in the first half. Ostrowski, and that is her first shot of the game. Glances off the rim. Trying to run that down is Paula McGee, and she couldn't save it from going out of bounds.
You know, an interesting comment from one of the coaches from USC felt that Ostrowski forced that shot, and the coaches from SC feel that Ostrowski's intimidated by the McGees. Paula was able to get a hand up in Ostrowski's face, and they were able to get a fast break off that situation.
On that replay, I never did see the ball hit the end line there, but the officials saw it. They call traveling. Tennessee's ball. They're down by 6. Sheila Collins, an aggressive move to the hole. Clean block, rule the officials. Knocked out of bounds by USC. Good defensive play that time.
Collins was able to blow right by Fletcher, but Fletcher made a great defensive play from behind.
Yolanda Fletcher with the block. Tennessee's ball. Ostrowski coming outside to Sheila Collins.
USC switching up their defense, going from a man-to-man back into that 2-3 zone, trying to confuse Tennessee a little bit.
Ostrowski with that soft jumper from the corner that she hits so often on Friday. 2 points of the game. She leads the Volunteers in scoring, 15.1 average, and is the leading rebounder in Tennessee history. It is Tanya Have, who is the leading scorer in Tennessee's history. Miller from outside. Close but no cigar that time. It'll be Tennessee's ball out of bounds with the Lady Volunteers trailing by 4.
Miller really has a lot of range. She's not afraid to take that outside shot, that's for sure.
USC started this season, if you look at Pat Summitt, the head coach of the Volunteers, 10-0. Then lost 3 games in a row in a trip which took them to Texas and to Louisiana Tech and Old Dominion. And since then, USC has won 18 of their last 19. Hatmaker. Thought she saw an opening. Thought better of it. Shot clock down to 10 seconds. Ostrowski trying to drive the lane, and again we get some shoving called underneath. Now it's a lane violation.
You know, I was watching defensively. Cheryl Miller, she's doing a lot of things offensively, but defensively, she is sticking to Mary Ostrowski like glue. She's not letting her get the ball.
Cooper. Out to Cheryl Miller. Cynthia Cooper. Cheryl Miller's brother, of course, is a freshman on the UCLA team. Star of the future for the Bruins. This is his home court. She's got another brother who's in the California Angels chain as a catcher. Jump shot is short. Pam McGee with the rebound. Can't get it to go. They're really fighting underneath, and it was last touched by Ostrowski. It belongs to USC, who won in the battle of the boards right now. Lady Volunteers come into this game with the poorest record, actually, of any team ever to reach the Final Four in the 3 years that the NCAA has controlled this game. They're 23-9. Pretty nice catch there to save it from going out of bounds. Juliet Robinson out to Cynthia Cooper. Cooper, a young lady who was ineligible at the start of the season. Paula McGee for 2. Counted, and she's fouled.
The nice thing about Cheryl Miller at 6'3", she can play a guard position, and when she has the ball up top, she looks for the Twins down low. Here the ball is swung, and the Twins are constantly wide open, and a lot of times they don't get the ball from the smaller guards, but from Cheryl Miller, she's constantly looking for them.
The foul is on Paula Towns. That'll be her first. We've got 7 minutes, 47 seconds left in the first half. Timeout.
Wallace, you gotta keep him out of there!
I'm used to him yelling, but not at me.
Push it out! Push it out!
Out your best.
Bring out your best!
Budweiser Light.
The best has a taste all its own.
Nice game.
Enjoy it.
Budweiser Light!
No time for breakfast. There's always time for McDonald's.
On your mark, get set, start!
Your morning at McDonald's, we're right on your way.
We've got it fast, fresh, friendly. What a way to start your day. Egg McMuffin on the run. Hot coffee to go. Carry out, drive on through. Either way, you know it's great when we're together. Don't start without us.
McDonald's and
Proud sponsor of the '84 Olympics.
From South Vietnam to West Point, the journey of the first Vietnamese woman cadet. I'm Charles Carroll. Join us for the American Parade Tuesday.
Coming up at halftime, we'll have a preview of tomorrow night's men's national championship game. What a showdown between the two big guys, Ewing and Elijah Watt. Long-awaited meeting. And we'll have it for you on CBS and preview it for you at halftime. And also, Ann Myers will be talking to Pat Head Summit, the head coach of Tennessee, and also the head coach of our United States Olympic team. And this young lady is certainly expected to be part of that Olympic team. I'd say odds are pretty good that Cheryl Miller is going to be on.
Well, they certainly are. She's just so exciting to watch. She does so many things out there on the court.
Paula McGee on the line. This is the first free throw of the ball game on either side. Of course, it didn't hit the rim.
It looked like they were almost going to let that one go by. I think they heard the sound of the net. That's why the official hesitated.
So Paula on the first free throw puts up the air ball. It will be Tennessee's ball out of bounds. 7 minutes, 40 seconds left to play in the first half of this women's national championship game from UCLA. Hatmaker to Sheila Collins. Collins drives the paint, tries to put up the shot. Jump ball.
SC is really doing a good job defensively, man-to-man. Collins took the lane, and there were 3 SC players on her.
Tennessee has hit just 6 out of 19 from the field so far. So right at a little under 33%. That's not going to do it. They're going to have to find somebody who can find that basket. Controlled by Paula Towns.
You know, if you notice on a jump ball, SC, when that ball is tossed, they move on that circle, and they've got a good chance of getting the ball every time. Tennessee is standing flat-footed.
Hatmaker with the open shot. And again, we got a foul called underneath, and I believe it's going to be on OSTROWSKI. Offensive foul. That is the second on Mary OSTROWSKI.
Well, it's certainly a different game right now for Mary OSTROWSKI from the other night. 35 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists.
She has been a great player in these playoffs. In fact, since the tournament started, she scored 24, 22, 26, and 35 points. So they need production out of her, obviously. Paula McGee inside, jump shooting over Towns. Paula McGee gets her 3rd basket. The All-American from Flint, Michigan gives USC an 8-point lead, which is their biggest of the afternoon so far. Sheila Collins off to Hatmaker. Tanya Have. Rebound, OSTROWSKI over Miller. Miller intimidated her a bit. Next one to Have. Have, the left-hander, gets her 2nd basket of the game, and they needed that one.
That's right. OSTROWSKI went for that foul against Miller, but Miller didn't go for it.
Cheryl Miller, number 31, out to Yolanda Fletcher. Fletcher at the top. Paula McGee with the turnaround. Another jump ball. We've had a ton of them in this game. Tanya Have will be jumping with Fletcher.
USC right now posting up very well inside, and the guards are starting to look now because that's where USC gets most of their offensive scoring is from the front line, and they're looking for those front liners to score.
Cheryl Miller will get a rest, and replacing her is number 44, Cynthia Cooper.
was talking to Cooper earlier. She's really excited. She's got brand new tennis shoes on. She's calling them her fast break shoes.
Tip easily controlled by Have to Sheila Collins. Collins is from Colbert, Georgia, 5'9" junior. Have can't control the pass.
Tennessee had a chance to take their time with Cheryl Miller coming out with the new shoes, but Mary Ostrowski, her first time without Cheryl Miller on her, she had a chance to score but threw it away.
Cooper going the full length of the court. Paula McGee has it knocked out of her hands and out of bounds. It will belong to the women of Troy. USC, again since the NCAA started controlling the playoffs 3 years ago, has lost only one time. They're 11-1 in the NCAA playoffs. Robinson. Tennessee's ball as Paula McGee failed to hang on.
A lot of turnovers right now.
Getting a little sloppy. Pat Hatmaker, 5'8" senior from Knoxville, Tennessee, the point guard. They call her Rattle for some reason. Got to be a story behind that, doesn't it? Have with the miss. Collins with the follow. Bangs it off the window for 2.
Have in the first 2 games against SC scored 19 and 21 points, and she's not having a very good shooting night right now.
Sheila Collins with her 3rd basket trims the USC lead once 8 points to 4. Fletcher fails to hit, and this time the foul will go against Pam McGee of USC. Trying to get position on the rebound. Cheryl Miller looks like she wants to get back in the ball game. She is very much into the game, whether she's into it or not into it. Timeout with 5 minutes 18 seconds left to play in the first half. USC leading Tennessee by...
From the outside, I think one reason being is Tennessee has done a good job as far as keeping her on the outside.
And keep in mind, she is only a sophomore. The Tennessee bench has produced very well, as you saw by that graphic. Just over 5 minutes left to play in the first half. Tennessee is down by 4. USC has led virtually throughout. Pat Hatmaker drops it inside to Ostrowski.
There's that little hook. It's one shot we noticed she had the other night. It's really a nice shot to see, is that hook shot.
I asked her yesterday where she learned that. She said her dad taught her the hook shot. But she said her dad wasn't that good a player, but he could shoot a hook shot, apparently. Amy Alke to Cynthia Cooper off the foot of Sheila Collins. Watch this little hook shot here. It's really great form on it.
Well, Tennessee's looking to get the ball inside to Ostrowski, too, because there is a mismatch with her and Cooper on her.
And Mary Ostrowski, quite obviously, would love to be a member of the Olympic team as well, and might be.
Tennessee switching up their defense, now playing a 1-3-1.
2-point lead for the women of Troy. It was 8 a few moments ago. 4.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Alkeck in the corner. Guarded by Hatmaker. They're looking inside to Pam McGee, but can't get it in there. Alkeck tried to drive the baseline, but nothing there, and they turn it over. Oh, here's Tennessee now with a chance to tie. Tennessee has turned it over 8 times, USC 6. And Miller is getting ready to come back in. Ostrowski. Have went high for the rebound, couldn't control it, and Pam McGee came down with it. Here comes USC. Miller getting ready to come into the ball game at the first opportune moment. Fletcher in the corner to Alkeck, takes aim, but doesn't fire.
USC really not sure what to do offensively against this 1-3-1.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second on the shot clock. The horn has gone off, and USC turns it over on the shot clock violation. They were very frustrated that time.
Well, even the first time when Tennessee went into that, SC turned the ball over. Tennessee playing very good defense on it. SC's going to have to make some kind of adjustment to that.
We saw Pat Summitt in her 10th year as head coach at Tennessee, which now has outscored USC in the last 3 minutes, 6-0. Miller is back in the contest now. Habe with the jump shot ties it. Tanya Have rings the bell from 18 feet, and this one is tied.
What this 1-3-1 will do against SC, which it has, is force them to take that outside shot off the wings, and they can't get an outside shot, and they're not able to get the ball inside either.
Collins going for the steal, picks up the foul instead. First foul of the game on Sheila Collins. And let's see if that is the 7th team foul on USC. It'll be a shooting violation, that is. So USC will have the 1-and-1 for the remainder of the first half. On the other hand, USC has committed just 4 team fouls. Only the second free throw shot in the first half. And Paula McGee shot the first one. Paula is said to be the more quiet of the two twins. Pam is a little more outgoing.
Well, when you get the two of them together, though, you can't keep either one quiet.
So McGee 2 out of 3 from the line, and USC with a 2-point advantage. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to play in the first half. Hatmaker off to Tanya Have, guarded by Paula McGee. Jump shooting over McGee and hits it.
You know, Have was recruited as a volleyball player also. She was an All-American her freshman year at Tennessee.
5th time that we have been tied here in the first half. Turned into a great ball game. Pam McGee missing from the free throw line. Sister Paula with the rebound. The right hand doesn't get you, the left one will.
That was a tough one for Tennessee because they had 3 players around the ball, and Paula McGee ended up with it.
Hatmaker setting it up for the Lady Volunteers from Knoxville. She's got the open shot out there, doesn't want to take it from 20 feet. Instead, going to Have, OSTROWSKI. Nice move from about 12 feet for Mary OSTROWSKI, her 3rd basket. 6'2" senior from Parkersburg, West Virginia, where she has been that state's Amateur Athlete of the Year. Yolanda Fletcher. Cheryl Miller on the drive. Nobody does it better.
That was the first time Miller was able to get inside. What had happened defensively, Sheila Collins got caught standing right up against her, and Miller took advantage of that.
Alkeck getting ready to come back into the game for USC with 1:20 left in the half. USC leading by 2. They're giving Hatmaker that open shot. Have from the other side. Rebound to Pam McGee, stolen by Sheila Collins. Clean steal, says the official. Have on the drive, double teamed underneath. OSTROWSKI with the turnaround.
Tennessee pretty excited about that series of play right there.
26 apiece, under 1 minute to go now. 50 seconds left in the first half. An exciting first half in the Women's National Championship game at Pauley Pavilion. Yolanda Fletcher kicks it back out to Juliet Robinson. OSTROWSKI is now 4 out of 7 from the field. Inside to Pam McGee. Here's Tennessee with a chance to take the lead. 25 seconds left in the half. And Pat Summitt wants him to pull it out and go for the last shot. Pat Summitt says, let's go for one. Pat Hatmaker will control it. Down to 10 seconds. Robinson going for the steal. Have at 5 seconds is fouled. Paula McGee will pick up the foul. Lynn Collins comes into the game. Let's take a look at this one. Paula thought she wasn't guilty.
That's right. Tennessee really did not get into an offense right there, and they were forcing something. Have was making a one-on-one move and went up for the shot. Left-handed, sometimes it's difficult to guard against her, but Paula was called for the foul.
Pat Summitt setting another substitute in here just prior to the end of the half.
Number 53, Amy Gamble, replacing Mary.
Amy Gamble comes into the game, replacing OSTROWSKI. And Have is on the free throw line. She has 8 points, 2 rebounds, and this is the first free throw that the Lady Volunteers have shot in the first half.
And Tennessee is a good free throw shooting team. At least OSTROWSKI and Have are. Have's shooting 70% in the tournament.
and 78% on the year. Last time Tennessee led was at 4-2. They're out on top now with 3 seconds left to play in the half. Valerie Freeman checks in. Have comes out. 3 seconds to go, and Tennessee will apply a little pressure here, try to distract USC so they don't get that last shot away, or at least a good last shot. Down it comes to Cheryl Miller, who turns it over. Took her eye off the ball. That is the end of the first half with the score. Tennessee 28, USC 26. CBS Sports coverage of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship will continue after this commercial message and a word from your local. Tennessee outscored USC 14-6.
You know, there's been so much talk this week about Cheryl Miller being too emotional, too excitable. But I tell you, that first half, I don't think she showed nearly any kind of emotion that she has in the past. And that's one big difference. USC is an emotional team, and they did not play like that in the first half.
Well, maybe she's going too much the other way. Maybe people tell her she's showing a little bit too much. I know Friday night against Louisiana Tech, she was fired up on every play.
That's right.
Had a reaction. Opening tip of the second half going to USC. Amy Alkek to Miller. Quickly they go inside to Pam McGee. Turnaround jumper doesn't hit. Paula on the follow. Can't get it to go. OSTROWSKI comes up with the rebound underneath.
Well, I also think you're going to see Cheryl Miller on the boards a lot more this second half. She only had 1 rebound in the first half.
Cheryl is the type that will get your teammates going. She'll talk to them and cajole them and get them fired up. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen at all here in the second half. Have to Lynn Collins, inside to OSTROWSKI, has the hook shot. Blocked on her by Cheryl Miller, who comes up with the ball. Kicks it down court to Alkek.
That first half, Tennessee also controlled the tempo of the game pretty much. They slowed it down. SC had a few fast breaks, were able to run a couple times, but not as much as they would like to.
According to the NCAA computer, Tennessee had the toughest schedule in the country this year. Shot is good by Paula McGee, and she is fouled by Towns. And a follow-up to that, Southern Cal had the 3rd toughest schedule.
Right away, USC trying to get the ball inside again to the McGees. They need Miller down low also because she creates a lot of things.
That's 12 points in the first half, or rather 12 points total for Paula McGee. And a chance to complete the 3-point play and break the tie. So the women of Troy are back out in front. 29-28. Hatmaker. Point guard of these fearless 5 seniors, as they refer to themselves. Tennessee with unusual mixture of 5 seniors and 5 freshmen, who get the bulk of the playing time. Lynn Collins penetrating inside, puts it off the window for 2. Lynn Collins. Very, very aggressive player. Blacksburg, Virginia.
Well, she didn't have any points in the first half, but she creates so many things out there, and they're going to let her shoot, USC.
Miller with the pull-up jumper, buries it. Miller with 4 baskets. And USC back out in front by 1. Back and forth ball game. It's the 6th time now that the lead has changed hands here in the Women's National Championship game at Pauley Pavilion. Collins may have gotten away with a travel there. Pat Hatmaker guarded by Alkek to Lynn Collins. The block by Paula McGee. McGee waiting for help. Goes to sister Pam and out to Alkek. Miller, great pass inside. And Pam McGee with an easy layup.
That was the only pass she could make to get that ball inside, the bounce pass.
The assist from Miller, the basket by Pam McGee. And USC has a 3-point lead, and the fans here, partisan USC crowd, chanting defense. Have. Got a very, very pure jumper, does this young lady. 12 points for Tanya Have. Been averaging just under 15 points per game. USC leading by 1.
There's that 1-3-1 zone again for Tennessee.
Miller inside. Paula McGee jump shooting, and it's short. Rebound, Pam McGee. Cheryl Miller has the next one.
Well, Tennessee had the rebound that time. They fought for it. You'd like to see a team do that, but they SC came up with the ball that time. Cheryl Miller underneath on the boards that time came up with the rebound.
And Tennessee about to send Sheila Collins back into the game. Well, Cheryl Miller has put it in high gear coming out. Tanya Have answering from the corner with a 22-foot jumper. She's putting on a long-range exhibition. As you saw, Sheila Collins waiting to get back into the game. She was the catalyst that made things go for Tennessee in the first half. Alkek. Rebound underneath Pam McGee.
And Cheryl Miller kept that ball alive.
USC. Cheryl Miller was the most valuable player in the Final Four last year. There's a great pass from Lynn Collins to Ostrowski. Put her in shape for a great layup.
Ostrowski really did a good job of posting up. Was able to get McGee on her hip and open wide up to get that basket.
Miller outside to Alkek. Miller in the corner looking for an opening. Almost throws it away. Lynn Collins went down to the floor. Picked up a floor burn there for sure. Miller missing the shot, and Tennessee with the rebound. Paula Towns. And here come the Lady Volunteers with a chance to recapture the lead as we near the 15-minute mark.
You know, Miller takes those long bombs, but those aren't the kind of shots that USC really wants.
Habe, who's got the feeling. Towns with the rebound, scores, and she's fouled. Paula Towns gets her first basket.
Towns did not have any points in the first half, but she is so tough on the board. She had 5 boards in the first half, and she's always underneath.
That is the third foul on Pam McGee. So it's 38-37, Tennessee with a free throw to come. Pam McGee with her third foul comes out of the ball game and is replaced by number 44, Cynthia Cooper.
If SC has any chance of pulling away, the thing that they have to do is become more aggressive on the boards, especially get that defensive rebound, kick it out, and get down the floor to run, because Tennessee has controlled the tempo of the game so far.
3-point play for Paula Towns, and Tennessee leads by 2. Their biggest lead in the ball game has been only 2 points, which they've held on several occasions. USC has been in front by as many as 8. Juliet Robinson with the pull-up jumper. Bit short. Rebound, Have. Robinson all over her, trying to tie her up. And finally, we get a foul called on Robinson. Getting a little physical.
They are rough. Have, good control as far as not throwing the ball away. You'd rather have a jump ball than anything else.
It'll be Tennessee's ball to inbound. We've got a timeout with 14 minutes and 44 seconds. The regionals, there was a 91-90 game in overtime. That was played in Knoxville. Tennessee bringing it down court with a 2-point advantage. Well, we got an official time here because the 30-second clock is inoperative. I don't know if it was my imagination, but I thought maybe they changed clocks at halftime. Didn't the one in the first half have white numbers on it?
I thought so, unless they're showing a different one. You're right. Well, the lights were out on the other one.
There's the 30-second clock. Obviously, they've run off a few seconds coming down court.
If you notice, since they've called this timeout, how SC came down court defensively. From that man-to-man, now they've switched into a 2-3 zone. They're going to try and force Tennessee to take some outside shots now because they've been getting inside against USC.
Now they're setting it at 21, figuring that Tennessee ran off 9 seconds coming down court. Again, in the women's collegiate game, we have a 30-second clock and no back court. You can go over and back. You can take more than 10 seconds to bring it across. Well, again, the clock is malfunctioned.
That was a quick 30 seconds.
Yeah. The clock it went down 21-10-5-0. Well, we've seen this happen a few times previously this season, and the teams are going to have to repair to the benches here while they get this figured out. Normally, they'll have a backup clock that they'll have to bring out if they can't get this one to...
These are the backups.
Then we may be in trouble.
You know, it's interesting, BCA, the Women's Basketball Coaches Association, they've been discussing a lot of rule changes in women's basketball, and some of the coaches have been talking to going to 45-second clock. And I know the men do not have a clock, and the women are thinking about, well, if we can make the clock a little bit longer, it will give a weaker team a bigger chance to play against a strong team.
Well, I don't know what the decision is going to be here. The clock is recycled now to 30 seconds again. We have 14 minutes and 27 seconds left to play in the game. Tennessee leading USC by a score of 39-37.
I know what some schools have done in the past when the 30-second clock has been having problems. They will use a hand clock. And it's really difficult for a team to do that if the 30-second clock visually is not being used.
Well, they've now run it down to 13. Let's see if it operates as we get back to play again. Tennessee in the front court. Yeah, the clock's moving now. Seems to be all right. Sheila Collins has her shot blocked out. Here's a 2-on-1 break. USC chance to tie. Robinson out front. Robinson fighting for her rebound, but Collins comes up with it. USC has blocked 6 of Tennessee's shots so far in this game. 2-point lead for the Lady Volunteers. Tanya Have. Has she got that thing working today?
La Machine.
La Machine, they call her, and that's why. She is automatic from that perimeter when she gets it going, and now has 16 points, and Tennessee has its biggest lead of the game. Cheryl Miller in the front court for USC. Cynthia Cooper looking for help out to Juliet Robinson. Little double pump motion underneath to Paula McGee on the tip. Still doesn't go. It will be USC's ball out of bounds. Last touch by Tennessee.
Good hustle by Paula McGee to keep the ball alive. SC has to become more aggressive offensively on the boards.
Linda Sharp, the head coach, getting a little concerned. Cooper, long jumper from the corner, and a foul called on Miller underneath. Offensive foul on Cheryl Miller. That'll be her first.
Cooper the other night being able to hit those shots. Miller underneath on the boards, which is what they want to see, but Ostrowski had position.
Now Cooper's averaged almost 10 points per game. She has not scored and had a great regional. In fact, had 20 points and 9 assists against Long Beach State in the regional final. Down it comes to Have. This time she doesn't take the shot, goes to Ostrowski. And Tennessee's going to slow it down. This is the type of game they want, a half-court game. And they're up by 4 now, their biggest advantage over the defending national champions. From USC, Ostrowski rejected by Cheryl Miller. Jump ball. Paula Towns. And Miller will jump it.
Miller's so tough. Defensively, she blocks his shot, but she does not block it out of bounds. She keeps it in bounds, is able to control it. Had a high bounce, they're going to jump ball it, but defensively, she always keeps the ball alive.
Yolanda Fletcher, number 10, coming back into the game for the women of Troy. And she will replace Juliet Robinson. 12:59 to go. They'll jump it again as Collins went down in a heap.
Collins looked like she went right into Miller. Miller did not get up in the air at all. And Collins fell right into Miller. Again, a poor tip.
USC controls in the front court. They trail by 4. There's the time remaining, just under 13 minutes. Cynthia Cooper, little double clutch number there, and draws the foul from Turner.
Cooper's the type of player that forces things to happen. She'll penetrate a lot, trying to create something. It's interesting to see USC offensively. They've matched up against the 1-3-1 zone. They're in a 1-3-1 offense.
The foul on Sheila Collins. I can't get over the Tennessee bench standing throughout the whole ball game. Even the kids who just come out of the ball game are standing. Look at that.
At least they're warmed up to go into the game.
They're ready. Send me in, coach. Cooper going 0 for 2. And again, Tennessee, which has done a good job controlling the backboards. They have the edge in the rebounding department. The USC fans imploring their defense to hold them. Hatmaker. Ostrowski trying to save it. Can't do it. USC's ball out of bounds.
That was not a good shot selection from Pat Hatmaker. She was wide open, but Tennessee usually likes to work the ball around.
USC crowd really getting into the game now. Cooper on the baseline drive gets underneath, and we get a whistle and a foul. Cooper will go to the line.
Again, trying to create something, trying to get her teams up a little bit more emotionally.
It's on Paula Towns. That'll be her third. So she has 3, and Pam McGee has 3 for USC. Cooper is a 67% free throw shooter from Los Angeles. USC hasn't scored. Well, they have now, but up until that point, they hadn't scored in the last 4 minutes. They've had a real dry spell here. 3-point game. Ostrowski controls underneath. Women's Final Four, National Championship game from Pauley Pavilion in Los Angeles. Sheila Collins to Pat Hatmaker, looking inside to Ostrowski, but they've got her bottled up pretty good. Sheila Collins, 2.
That's a tough shot from up top from Collins.
8 points for Collins and a 5-point Tennessee lead. Their biggest lead of the game. Kicked out of bounds by Collins. It'll be USC's ball.
SC is doing a good job penetrating down low and forcing SC to have that back person come out, but they're still not getting the ball inside.
Pam McGee coming back into the game for the women of Troy. She will replace Yolanda Fletcher. Cheryl Miller will inbound. Miller's been held to 10 so far, but has a number of assists. And of course, a ton of rebounds. There's another assist for her. She gets it inside to Paula McGee. McGee has 15 points for USC, and it's 43 to 40. 11 minutes and 20 seconds left. Collins again with the jumper from outside, and Amy Alkek, the freshman from Texas, comes down with the rebound. He was stopped by Have, got it back, and on a circus shot, Cynthia Cooper makes it a 1-point game. Nice little move there.
Well, it almost looked like she forced the play too much, but the ball came right back into her hands.
Pat SUMMITT wants her team to call a timeout. They do. Watch this move by Cooper.
She just scissored right in between 2 Tennessee players.
Beautiful shot. Timeout with 10 minutes, 43 seconds left to play in this game. It's Tennessee leading USC by 1. Of the NCAA Women's Basketball Committee. Nora Lynn Finch is Associate Athletics Director at North Carolina State and has done a great job in organizing this tournament, along with Tricia Bork from the NCAA. They put on a great show. And this game is the climax of the whole thing. Cheryl Miller down court to Pam McGee. McGee with the layup.
Heads-up play by Cheryl Miller by seeing the McGee's wide open down court.
Does Cheryl Miller make it happen? Hatmaker, turnaround jumper off the glass. And we get a foul called on Paula Towns of Tennessee. 4th foul on Towns. Team foul situation. We've got 3 apiece, making Tennessee 4 and USC 3. Take a look at that play by Miller.
Miller comes up with the loose ball and sees everybody down court and throws it 2-on-1.
Back to live action now. Again, she sees the court so well. Cheryl Miller, offensively and defensively. Cynthia Cooper in the front court. USC leading by 1 with 9 minutes, 45 seconds left to play in the game. Cooper driving on Hatmaker, puts it off the doors. It may amaze you to see the caliber of basketball that these gals can play, but they're putting on a show right now.
They certainly have the fans in behind
7-point lead. A foul called on Paula McGee, and Paula cannot believe it. Cynthia Cooper with that great shot a moment ago, putting USC up by 3 points. And watch what happens after she hits it. Watch her reaction to this shot.
Well, this is what SC needs right now, is a little bit of emotion. Get the team involved. Start getting them excited.
USC very emotional right now. And Fathead Summit sends in Lynn Collins, one of her senior veterans. In the last 3 minutes, USC has outscored Tennessee 8-0. And the women of Troy now have a 3-point advantage at 46-43. Ostrowski back outside to Hatmaker.
SC looks like they're moving defensively a little bit more also with that excitement that Cooper's gotten them into.
Ball tipped by Cooper, but saved by Sheila Collins. Cooper backing her into a corner. Pass underneath. Ostrowski tried to get the shot up and drew the foul from Cheryl Miller. And Cheryl says, no, 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 not me.
Well, Cheryl should have raised her hand to protect her teammate. Paula McGee now has 3 fouls, and that would have only been 2 on Cheryl.
So the foul will be on Paula McGee. That's her 3rd, and sends Ostrowski to the free throw line. You don't rattle her too much. She hit 9 out of 9 the other night against Cheney and is a 74% free throw shooter on the year. 11 points, 6 rebounds so far for Mary Ostrowski. USC leading Tennessee 46-45. Cooper trying to take it all the way is fouled by Hatmaker.
Tennessee getting a little frustrated right now. Cooper just taking it right down the middle, loves to dribble, goes right by Hatmaker on a reach, and they call a foul.
That is the 5th team foul on Tennessee. We're even on team fouls at 5 apiece, so each side has one to give before we get into the bonus situation. Amy Alkek in the corner for the women of Troy. Nice lob. Cheryl Miller inside to Pam McGee. That is the 5th assist for Cheryl Miller, in addition to 10 points. 8.5 minutes to go. Collins' shot is knocked out of bounds, and they will give it to Tennessee. And I believe they got a break.
They did. Collins forced that shot a little bit. Harvey just punched it right out of bounds. But they're giving it to Tennessee.
Linda Sharp came off the bench like a rocket when that call was made. Sheila Collins. Rebound, Lynn Collins.
Harvey again keeping that ball alive.
Again, a 1-point game. Cooper on the outside. Sheila Collins staying as close as she can to Cheryl Miller. Alkek.
Down, position. Not on.
Tennessee in that zone trying to keep them from getting inside, but they do to Paula McGee, and will jump it.
The ball went right down low to Paula McGee. There were 5 white shirts all around her.
So USC just trying to brute force it that time into the middle. They got it there, but wound up being a jump ball, and the tip goes out of bounds. And again, we're going to jump it.
Collins out-tipped McGee there.
Pat Summit, 10th year as head coach at Tennessee, assistant Olympic coach in 1980, and the team that never got to play, and the head coach this year. The tip this time controlled by Have to Sheila Collins. Tennessee with a chance to recapture the lead. They trail by 1. Inside, Lynn Collins. Fade away, yes! Lynn Collins comes up with a big basket for the Lady Volunteers, and they're up by 1. The 9th time that the lead has changed hands as the seconds and minutes tick away. Alkek. A whistle. And a foul called underneath prior to the shot by Cooper. Foul is on Collins. And that'll be her third. Linda Sharp in her 7th year at USC, and she has really taken this program and done marvelous things with it. Started with the advent of the McGEE twins. There's the free throw situation so far. Tennessee has not missed. Alkeck. Lob inside to Cheryl Miller. Foul is on Lynn Collins. Nope. Let's see. Wait a minute.
Cheryl Miller.
It's on the other way. That's Cheryl Miller. That's her second.
She got the ball inside finally and makes a great move underneath, but the ball pops up in the air. She just loses it. And going for the ball, she's being so aggressive right now. That's her third person.
Tennessee with a 1-point lead. Under 7 minutes to go. Ostrowski almost threw it away the first time and then did throw it away.
I think that was from a little bit of fatigue. The ball bounced right back to her and she just threw it and nobody was there.
Pressure in the backcourt applied by Pat Hatmaker of Tennessee as Cynthia Cooper gets it across. Hatmaker tried her best to stay with her. Cooper almost dribbled out of bounds. USC down by 1. Pam McGee on the drive. McGee gets her own rebound. Again. It counts and she's fouled.
Pam McGee staying aggressive. Javi tried to draw a foul there, but McGee came right underneath, stayed after the ball.
It's hard to believe that USC beat Tennessee 14 and 15 points the 2 times they met this year. Look at this game now.
Well, that first game, too, Cheryl Miller was held to 9 points.
Pam McGee with 14 points and 11 rebounds at this point. There's her first free throw. Again, it turns around. 9th lead change. And it's USC by 2. Sheila Collins trying to get it inside to Ostrowski. They throw it away. Charging call on Paula McGee, and that is 4. Pat Hatmaker took the charge from Paula McGee, and McGee has 4 fouls.
That play just happened so quick. SC was able to get the loose ball, threw it right out, and trying to start their fast break. Paula went right into Hatmaker. He was supposed to give the player a step. There was a step there, but Paula was not really aware of that defensive player.
Tennessee will call time with 6 minutes of the year last year in women's college basketball after leading her team to the national championship. She played at Cal State Fullerton for Billy Moore, who was one of your old coaches. Huh?
That's right. Billy Moore was my senior year coach when we won the championship in '78, and I played basketball with Linda. I also played ball with Pat Head on the Olympic team, and now her last name's Summit, but I always call her Pat Head from those days.
All right, here we go. 51-49 USC, but Tennessee has the ball and a chance to tie. Pat Hatmaker. To Sheila Collins, guarded closely by Fletcher. Have, who has cooled off a little bit here, is having the hot hand late in the first half. Inside to Ostrowski. Collins with the jumper. Rebound, Cheryl Miller. USC with the ball and a 2-point lead.
Tennessee dropping back into a 2-3 zone right now. Really trying to switch up that defense to create something from SC.
Jump shot by Fletcher fails, but Pam McGee is there with the rebound and is fouled. It is good. Pam McGee has done a job on the boards for USC.
She's going to the weak side off the boards, getting position on Javi. Ostrowski tries to get the ball down low, but they called it from behind on Javi.
McGEE to the free throw line with a chance for the three-point play. She has 17 points and 12 rebounds in this contest so far. Going to be hard to pick a most valuable player because there's standouts on both sides. Rather unusual free throw motion. She just shoots a jump shot at the free throw line. She's only a 52% shooter on the year. So obviously she doesn't have confidence in that free throw. 4-point lead for USC. 5 minutes, 5 seconds. Have gets her own rebound. Next one to Cheryl Miller. 3-on-1 break. USC. Off to Alkek. Amy Alkek.
That's what's so great about Cheryl Miller. She can get a rebound, bring the ball down court just like a guard.
Tennessee calls timeout with 4 minutes and 41 seconds left to play. Good timeout by Pathead Summit. She needs to kind of...
Ever since they came to the USC program, they have made it what it is today.
Tennessee to inbound. Tanya Have comes into Sheila Collins. Tennessee needs somebody to get the hot hand here. Logical contenders would be Have or Ostrowski, although USC's done a good job keeping the ball away from Ostrowski. Collins with the miss, and Yolanda Fletcher grabs the rebound for USC.
And that really was a good shot by Sheila Collins. She hit a lot of those shots in the first half. She's missing right now.
Well, Tennessee has gone into the cold streak here, and that's what's cost them and enabled USC to move out to a 6-point advantage. Pam McGee outside to Alkek. Miller with the turnaround doesn't go, and Ostrowski gets the next rebound. Down court quickly to Sheila Collins. USC is outscored Tennessee 7-0 here in the last 3 minutes. Collins fighting for her own rebound, and we've got a foul called underneath.
Collins had a 1-on-3 break. She was all by herself. Then the SC defense let up. She took the baseline, made a great move underneath. She is not intimidated by the big people from USC at all. She contends against them. Is ready to put that shot up, and Cheryl Miller was called for a foul.
That is 3 fouls now on Cheryl Miller, and both sides will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Timeout with 3:46 left to play. Back with the exciting conclusion to the women's national championship game in just a moment.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Mary Ostrowski will be on the line with a 1-and-1. She is 2 out of 2 from the free throw line. Has 12 points and 8 rebounds in this game. Great high school player, Parkersburg Catholic in Parkersburg, West Virginia.
Okay, straight up on this, ladies, one time.
This would narrow it to 4. Cynthia Cooper will take it down court for the women of Troy. Again, there's no backcourt in women's basketball. They can move all over the court, but they've got that 30-second clock.
Tennessee putting on a 1-3-1 trap right now.
Cooper off to Alkek. Yes!
When you've got somebody like Cooper that's able to handle the ball like that and penetrate, mistake by Tennessee, how they fell down on the drive and opened up that offense for Cooper.
Tennessee has hit just 2 of its last 12 shots. The freshman Amy Alkek has scored 8 points, played a great game. The first-year player. Ostrowski inside, can't get loose for the shot. Hatmaker to Have, inside to Ostrowski. Tipped up and back in by Towns.
That was a tough pass for Ostrowski to handle. I'm surprised she did. She got the shot off, and Towns is right there on the weak side.
4-point game with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to play. Cooper almost lost it, penetrating that time. Paula McGee. USC is not missing. McGEE has 17. The steal by Cheryl Miller. Miller with her 12th point. And USC is starting to pull away, and Tennessee calls time. Miller getting her 6th basket. Tennessee has 1 timeout left, and the time remaining in the game 2 minutes and 8 seconds. And USC playing like USC is now capable of playing.
Well, they came out in the second half a little bit more aggressive. They started hitting the boards, which they did not do in the first half. They were out-rebounded by Tennessee, and now they've dropped into that 2-3 zone to protect the middle and to force Tennessee on the to take those outside shots, and Tennessee is not getting any kind of shooting.
Hatmaker brings it across the center line. 8-point lead for USC, which would match their biggest lead of the game. Cynthia Cooper with the steal and the drive, and there's 2. Crowd loves it. It's USC by 10. And time beginning to run out in the Cinderella Lady Volunteers from Tennessee, who came into this game with a record of 23-9. There's Rhonda Wyndham in the center there. Rhonda is the point guard from last year who suffered that knee injury and has been out all season long. And they've got her coming back next year.
And SC will try to use up as much of the 30-second clock as they can.
Alkek will go to the free throw line. So Lynn Collins looking up at the clock, seeing what looks to be the final seconds of her collegiate career ticking away. These 5 outstanding senior starters for Tennessee who have come so far, and no one really expected them to be here. A lot of people told you that Tennessee, or rather Georgia, probably would have been the team to be here, but Tennessee beat them in the regionals and won the nod.
Tennessee beat some good teams to be here, as a matter of fact. Middle Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, and Cheney.
Mary Ostrowski says, come on, it's not over yet. With a minute and a half to go and down 11, I don't know. Back out to Alkek.
Pam McGee tipping that ball out so SC can keep it.
Fresh 30 seconds for the women of Troy. Miller. As they call it around here, Miller time. Ostrowski from the corner gets a couple back, but too little, too late. 16 points for Ostrowski. The foul is on Pat Hatmaker. Going to the line is Cooper. USC has outscored Tennessee 18-6 over the last 7 minutes. Tennessee just went into the deep freeze here in the last 6 or 7 minutes. Disappointment, of course, to head coach Pat Summitt, who was after her first national championship title. Cynthia Cooper has 8 points. There's the disappointed Tennessee bench. But they have nothing to be ashamed of because they've come a long, long way in this tournament and played tough against an outstanding team today. They led at half by 2. Towns with the outlet pass to Hatmaker. Down to Sheila Collins. Ostrowski has the shot blocked on her by who else? Cheryl Miller. Have. Consolation bucket for Sonia Have. Gives her 18 points. Down to Miller. One more time for Cheryl Miller.
She's doing it all now.
30 seconds left. Towns gets a basket for Tennessee.
And it's nice for people to get a chance to watch players like these.
27 seconds, all that's left. Tennessee with the full court pressure, but with a 10-point lead, you'd have to feel the USC is pretty good shape. Ball to McGEE to inbound. Juliet Robinson is fouled by Have.
I think the big difference towards the end of the game was SC finally started to hit the boards. Cheryl Miller more emotional, more involved in the game. She had a lot of assists.
Now some of the substitutes coming in now for USC. They're going to empty the bench. Jamea Bond comes into the game, and listen to the applause for some of the starters as they leave. So the celebration starts a little early. For the women of Troy, who will have another NCAA championship banner to hang in the Los Angeles Sports Arena. As we said, this is obviously not their home court, but they certainly have the hometown advantage.
Definitely. Just shows you how close to that team really is. Our
Chevrolet players of the game for USC, Pam McGee, although it could have just as easily been Cheryl Miller or Paula, and Tanya Have for the University of Tennessee. Foul is called on Tracy Longo. And we'll move to the other end of the Tennessee free throw line. There's Jamea Bond. A lot of smiles on the faces of those USC players. Jamea is a 6'5" sophomore from Chicago. And Mary Ostrowski on the free throw line with 16 points and 8 rebounds.
It's almost too bad Ostrowski couldn't have gotten to the line more during the game.
Well, that Tennessee bench knows it's over, so I guess they're tired after standing most of the contest. Alkeck immediately fouled by Lynn Collins. At this rate, we're going to be here. State championships. She once scored 105 points in a high school game.
Well, the thing is, again, she does so many things offensively, scoring-wise, but other things that don't even show up on the statistics. She rebounds, she steals balls, she causes things to happen out there.
Pat Hatmaker comes out. She's played a fine game for Tennessee at the point guard and is replaced by Pam Marr. Alkeck gets them both. And the freshman point guard from Victoria, Texas. A year ago, she was playing in the Texas High School Championships. Now she's playing, and she has won the NCAA Women's Championship. Lynn Collins from the corner, inside to Ostrowski. Back out to Pam Marr as we hit the 10-second mark. Have has it curl out on her. We'll have a jump ball with 4 seconds left to play. Leanne Serra of USC will jump it with Lynn Collins. 72-61. USC leads it. Another substitute coming into the game for Tennessee, Lisa Webb. That's the kind of sub I was. The coach used to say, 3 seconds to go, we're 10 down, go in there and do something.
Didn't want to take any chances, huh? A little bit different from last year. SC a little bit more subdued from winning because it's wider margin.
I think they're ready to celebrate as soon as this thing ends. You're going to see them burst from that bench like a rocket's been fired. Nice hand for Ostrowski and Have as they lead. A little high-fiving going on right now over there. Well, they gave it their best shot.
She's had a super year at Tennessee, and she really has.
Probably a few tears mixed in with the perspiration there. That does it. The USC women of Troy are the 1984 NCAA champions. as they beat the University of Tennessee 72-61. They trailed by 2 at halftime and came back very strong in the second half and wound up winning it going away.
Proud the way they played.
Ave winding up with 18 points for Tennessee. Their leading scorer, Pam McGee, with 17 points and 12 rebounds. And she and Cheryl Miller showing why they are indeed All-Americans. Well, it has been a rather hectic but a rather rewarding and fun-filled week for the fortunate 4 teams who battled their way all season long to reach Los Angeles and the Final Four of women's basketball. These 2 teams are the survivors of 237 women's Division I teams who started the season with championship hopes, stars in their eyes, and they'll return home from L.A. with a mountain of memories.
The moment is especially outstanding.
Of USC told us that Shura will be guarding Beverly Williams. This Texas team is so balanced, it's hard to key on one player, but Linda Sharp feels that Beverly is their offensive spark and wants to take her out of the game early.
You know, Texas has so many good things this year, but they're an inside and outside team. Fran Harris, their outside shooter, and this freshman sensation, Clarissa Davis, inside.
Fran Harris is so good in her perimeter shooting that she has the green light to shoot the ball anywhere on the court. Clarissa Davis is only a freshman, doesn't even start for this team, and yet is their second leading scorer.
I'm looking forward to it. Texas USC. We'll be back with the introduction of the starting lineups from here in Rupp Arena in just a moment.
An idea can happen anytime. When you work for Hewlett-Packard, you don't just sell business computing systems, you solve problems. So when you have an idea, you do something about it. You never stop asking, what if?
You know that electronic mail project for the bank? What if we used HP methods?
Every Monday through Friday, Mike Horner drives his Chevy S10 4x4 to work.
Hi, Mike.
And back. But on Friday, November 9th, Mike made a different kind of commute. The Baja 1000, North America's most punishing off-road race. Day and night, Mike drove over the worst terrain imaginable. Put an everyday Chevy